the old windows. No more. Everything is fluid. There is no permanency in my windows. Today I'm going to go to the dump, the Harrods of Craven Arms. That's what I used to call the dump at Westminster. Not Westminster. In Warminster, in the days when you were allowed to take stuff from dumps if you fancied it. You're not allowed to do that now. I used to call the dump in Warminster, which is in Wiltshire when I was in the army, I used to call it the Harrods of Warminster. I got some very good items. 6-foot stakes. Got some wire as well. Can only mean one thing: fencing. What a workout, really. Think about it. I could be on my veranda working out. Might lose some of this weight. Finally got me wire. Believe it or not, this stuff weighs a ton. This is the 50 meters, so you can get 100 meters. Now that is a workout. But again, if you've got land, you need to be stock proofed. And it's quite fun. Well, I'm in a very noisy road in Craven Arms, the mecca of South Shropshire, and I've ordered fish and chips because busy morning. I'll show you some on the booty when I get in. I think I'm being shouted for. Hang on a minute. I'm being called in for me fish and chips. See you in a bit. Sorry, I'm videoing. Well, you won't believe it, but my good friend and neighbour Jim has just passed, and this is his setup in the back. Look at it. All these blanks here for shoeing horses. Look at, he's had this since how old? It was £4.50 when he bought it, so it was a long time ago. And he actually has a LPG. He's got a little furnace going. He's got everything he needs in the back of this, apart from his wife. Right, the earth hath given forth her treasure. I'm back from Craven. You probably saw me getting all my stuff from the dump, to the dump. I went to the front of the house, and everything that was in the house has sort of been thrown out of the house, and some of it's been burnt. A lot of it has to go to the dump in Craven Arms. So that is what I was principally doing today. But I thought while I was there, I'd get those fencing posts and get some fencing wire. I need to buy the little U. Well, I don't know what even they're called even, but they're shaped like a U, aren't they? And you bang them in. I've got to get those. And I was after a plunger today, and I didn't find one that I liked. There was a lightweight one. That was the only one I could find. And so I need to get a what do they call it? A stake plunger, something like that, whacker. Anyway, but while I was there, like I always do, I'm like a magpie, but I only try to buy what is useful. And the car's locked, so I can't get in it. Or am I pressing the wrong button? No, I'm in the wrong car. Yes. Take two. I've got my clerk of works today. You might have seen earlier that I bought some fish and chips as a reward For cutting my hair too, I was going to video that. I wish I had now. I might do it on another occasion. I normally cut my own hair. I shave my own hair. I've got one of those clipper things. And I've got quite good at doing it on my own, but having another pair of hands about the place has proved very useful. Anyway, I bought all sorts today. I bought this in a charity shop. I have actually got one very similar to it, which I paid a lot of money for. I keep banging my head on that. It's very low, that one. Look at that. It's upside down. Does anybody know what that is? That is a Lindisfarne plate. There's various ones in the series. And it was a lot cheaper than they normally are. But I thought that would be rather nice to have in the caravan. I'm eating off plastic at the moment. And that's not good, because again, everything is in the container, but that's rather nice. So if you can see, I've got my wiring over here when the camera finally arrives, and the posts, and I've got this ruddy great thing. It has got various hooks on these things. Some of them are fallen off. I want you to guess what it is. It's quite simple, really. But look at this. It's magnificent. I've got to be careful here. Yeah, it's adjustable, the height. Weighs an absolute ton. It's blacksmith forged. So it's a good metal thing, none of your cheap Chinese rubbish. What do you think? And as I said to you before, have nothing in your home that you either believe to be beautiful or know to be practical. Well, this is both beautiful and practical. I think it's called a meat hanger. And that will go in my Tudor kitchen. Actually, it's a workout holding that too. So that's magnificent. I'll just put it there for now. Very pleased with that. I was able to barter him right down on the price, as I always do. I did have some rather nice bread and stuff to show you. I went into where I got my fish and chips, just further up from there, and I've never been in that little rank of shops. It was a tea house, and I thought, well, let's see what they sell. And I went in, they got these wonderful homemade breads. So I got a bit of sourdough and a bit of fruitcake. It's in the car somewhere, but I haven't got a clue where. I'll have a look up here. Don't know where it is. Could be somewhere. Ah. Unfortunately, the package is rather kind of, it's decided to, that's sourdough, believe it or not. It smells gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that fruitcake. Isn't that mate? And that weighs a lot. So, all in all, a very good day. And with that, I'm waiting on more things. You'll have seen that I met Jim the farrier earlier. He didn't want to be on camera. My clerk of works, Lisa, never likes to be on camera. I love being on camera, and who wouldn't with my looks? So anyway, it's been a very full day. A dump run, acquiring agricultural pieces, stuff for the kitchen, a wonderful antique, well, I don't know what it is, a meat hanger. There are other things that came. Oh, remember I was telling you about my tinnitus? This came from Amazon though. It's like a sleep mask that goes over your eyes, but it's got headphones. Now I did buy one but I had to send it back because it was too tight. But this one is adjustable, and I have tested it for sound. So the earphones are great, really comfortable, and it blocks out the light unbelievably. So if I need to play crickets, or are they called cicadas, or if I have to listen to oceans or crackling fires with a storm outside while I'm lying in my couch, I can do so now, blocking the light out and just listening to that, and hopefully that will mask my tinnitus. So that was a good... something else arrived. Can't remember what it is. But the thing I was really excited about arriving, and it hasn't yet, so I'm almost postponing my little sermonette, because I wanted to show you the Zippo. You remember I keep going, people keep saying buy a Zippo, because I'm messing about with those cricket lighters on the veranda, trying to light my pipe. Well, you know, I took the plunge and bought one. And it was supposed to arrive today, and I thought it would be rather nice if I could share that moment with you. That exquisite moment where I can light my pipe without the wind blowing it out, and spending an inordinate amount of time puffing and blowing. Anyway, I'll give it a few more. I feel like sparking up a drink actually now. It's kind of wine o'clock, isn't it? It's that time of day. So you may have to wait till tomorrow for the Zippo. And but it's supposed to be a pipe lighting version, but you never know when you buy these second-hand items. So I'll see you in a mo. I'll just put these in the kitchenette, and I'll see you on the veranda. Well, hello friends. It's got to that day. It's beer o'clock, not wine o'clock. An IPA this time. You know, and after a day like today, and you are breathing in a certain amount of dust, aren't you? I think it's allowed. Not really had time to smoke any pipes much. I did manage one quick surreptitious pipe earlier. You find me in my Tudor kitchen. One of the videos I was in my Tudor sitting room. Now I'm in my Tudor kitchen. And that space behind me is going to be, I'm minded to put a wood burning sort of Rayburn in there. The one with the clear glass so you can actually see the flames, which is nice, isn't it? There are all sorts that you can buy. Essays, Stanleys. Argus are no good for this sort of thing. I'm smoking my my Dunhill. Got a small billiard. Love this one. Quite light. It's probably one of my oldest pipes, this. It was my mainstay. And it still smokes great. So let's fire it up. It's good to have you on board. I've been rather looking forward to our chat today because, you know, so much has been going on. This time I will actually smoke the Robert O'Connell flake. I say that, I'm sure it's in this tin. Must be. What have I got now? No. No. What? No, we've got the Maduro again. Sorry, chaps. I've got that many. That's the only problem with these old tins. I don't know what's in them. But that's quite fun, really, isn't it? I don't quite know what you're going to smoke. No, it would appear that I'm smoking the Maduro. Fine smoke it is too. Put a Perspex window in there so we're getting light on me now. You wouldn't have seen me before. Which is rather fun. I had a really busy day. And I kind of like those days. I was up early. I spilled out into the veranda. Splashed some wild water on my face from my little pond. And immediately sat down to pray. Marvellous. And it's a bit chilly in the morning, so I sort of wrap a little sort of blanket around my shoulders. I think I look like Pacamama or somebody or other. Anyway, or who's that other fellow? Clint Eastwood. Look like him, but not as violent. There we go. Got me pipe filled up. What I tend to do is, of course, a lot of these things arrive in round pat, you know, but they just sort of, they're easy to reshape. And what I do is, some of the ones that, if you haven't got this square in, you know, some have like a little rectangle thing you put in, I take one of the round ones and I just push the the sides in so that, you know, it just gives that extra little bit of moisture protection or whatever it is, drying out. Love that tin, it's gorgeous. Who's ever heard of Lampard and Butler's Waverley mixture? The mind boggles. So it's been a great day. As I say, I love it those days where I just spill out onto the veranda, I pray. And it's been non-stop really. I haven't stopped at all. The only thing that didn't happen was, well, it will happen later, but I need to get on with this video. It's my Zippo, and I've got something else arrived, my Zippo. You'll have to wait till tomorrow for the great unboxing of the Zippo. I know how much that excites you pipe smokers. It excites me. And I have other lighters, but I'm rather looking forward. I had a Zippo when I was in the Gulf War, and I think we just put petrol in it, and it used to stink when you sparked it up to light your pipe. I don't know where it ever ended up. I think I gave up smoking and it sort of, I don't know, must have sold it or something. At least I got no wind in here. I'll get this thing started. Beautiful and quiet here. Ah. Ah, the solace of tobacco. There's my Ashburn done. So today I bought, as I say, some fencing equipment. I was just thinking the importance of building fences. You know, the globalists all say that we've got to bring down all the fences, and we've all got to just sort of mix it all up. Well, I don't think we do have to mix it all up. They're all for bringing walls down and everything just flowing in to each other. And it causes a right bloody mess in most civilizations when that happens. I'm a great believer in fences. I'm glad I got my fence posts today and my wire. And I'm looking forward to knocking up those fences because, you know, you need to stock proof your property when, of course, you live on the land, especially if you've got beasts or chickens or any other sort of livestock. I should be getting, my first livestock would be chickens. I'm looking forward to introducing you to chickens. But I'm after a coop. I'm all right for a run. Jim the blacksmith, who you didn't meet earlier, has got an old run or something, and he's going to let me have. I should give him some logs for winter. It'll be a fair exchange. I love a bit of bartering in the countryside. So the first thing I should be acquiring, and probably quite soon, because they're easy to look after within reason, aren't they? Chickens. Is to get those. But of course I will get pigs. I might get a few Dexters. Or one Dexter. It'll probably be a bit lonely, so I might have to get more than one. So I'd like a milking cow rather than a milking goat. I could get a goat instead. A couple of goats. But I fancy a Dexter, a nice small cow that is hardy, not too difficult to look after. And the pigs can root around up there. But that's all, you know, in the future. I mean, no mad rush. But what I fancy, because I live alone on the mountain, is the company of the chickens. When I do my morning meditation now, it's great. They're getting used to me, the wildlife. I'm probably more feral than they are. And I was sitting there cross-legged on the veranda, and the squirrels now are, there's one in particular, it must be a baby one, literally near me big toe, eating some seed I put down. And the blue tits, were coming up to me. And a chaffinch of all things, you know, you wouldn't think they'd be very, you know, but I think they're the robin family, so maybe they are friendly. He came right up, thought he'd have a chat with me this morning, so I'm not entirely alone.
I've never kept chickens, but I'm told they're absolutely brilliant company, so I'm going to get some of those. I fancy them clucking around the place. Not sure about a cockerel yet. Perhaps you could say in the comments what you think, whether I should get a cockerel or not. Because I am a light sleeper, and I don't fancy getting the dawn chorus waking me up every day. But during the day, I don't mind the sound of a cockerel, because it's a very rural sound, isn't it? So that would be quite pleasing, but not at 4 in the morning, or 3:30. But the thing is, when you have livestock, as any farmer will tell you, or homesteader, or smallholder, you need to have, you've got to stock proof your peripheries, your boundaries. And I was thinking, it's the same in the spiritual life, or life in general, actually. Because my fencing that I've bought principally was to do 2 things at the moment. It was to keep the chickens from getting out. Although I do have fencing all around, but I might double fence some parts, and I think there are some gaps, certainly where the sheep can get in. So fencing can do 2 things, can't it? It can prevent stuff getting out, and it can prevent stuff getting in. And I think in the spiritual life, even in the political life sometimes, that you need fences. Your soul has to be stock-proofed. Because there's an awful lot of nonsense out there that might try to come through your fence in the way of balmy opinions, balmy religions, balmy people, violent people. There are all sorts of invasive opinions, invasive and pernicious views and people. And now, because of the internet, if you spend an inordinate amount of time consuming the internet, you may go down some very extraordinary paths, and you might find that your soul is being assailed. Have you ever just turned YouTube off? Don't do it now. Have you ever just turned YouTube off or the television off at about 9 o'clock and said, I just can't take any more of this? It's just too much noise. It's just too much stimulation. It's just too much influence invading my peace and my space. I turn the blessed thing off. And I find that the older I get, the earlier the TV goes off. You see, I've stock-proofed, I've fenced my soul. Your soul is quite precious. And sometimes you need to protect it with spiritual fencing. But it works both ways, because there are some people who are quite pernicious. Not everybody is as nice as you and me. There's some quite irritating and pernicious and downright wicked, in some cases, people out there. And they could espouse opinions, lifestyles, and all sorts of things which you would want to protect yourself from. But to say it works both ways, because you may be that individual. And so therefore, you may be transmitting, either orally, or in your thoughts, or in your actions, in a way which the rest of us ought to be protected from. Fences are great. Keep rubbish out, keep the good stuff in. Work on it. Work on it. That's my message today. Work on your stock fencing. Your stock proofing. And some people say, well, yeah, it's only opinions. Is it? See, I'm a great believer in the power of prayer. Because I believe prayer is action. I don't believe it's just thoughts. And that can be in a good way and in a bad way. I mean, isn't that the basis of witchcraft and various sorceries? You know, when people cast spells, people say they're good witches and only cast good spells. It's all the same. The point is that the power of the mind and whatever's going on in there can actually influence the outside events, people, occurrences. But of course in a good way if you're praying, of course, because you can pray for a person's healing, perhaps. So there are good ways to project your thoughts, and there are bad ways to project your thoughts. And so therefore we need to be protected, stock-proofed against the evil eye, if you're in Islam, the evil eye. Or Satan, if you're a Christian. And I'm sure there are some Buddhist deities that one needs to be guarded from. And people often don't think about this. They don't see thoughts as a form of action. And they are, of course, because when you have a thought, it's like throwing a stone into a still pond. It ripples out right to the end of the cosmos. Right to the end of the cosmos. What you're thinking now has an effect. Not only in your own life, but it will have an effect on others. And therefore, one has to be very careful in what one thinks and what one does. Because it will shape you, and it could shape others potentially. And it's the form of, some forms of, as I say, sorcery, but also it is the basis of prayer. So I haven't got really much to say other than that today. I'm showing you a lot more of my day than I would normally. Only because a lot's going on. But I was minded just to share that idea about fencing and protecting your essence, your soul, because that is the pearl of great price. And you need to guard it. You need to guard it severely. And that might be your internet consumption, or the sort of things you're watching on the internet. It could be in many ways toxic people that you meet at work, or who are in your family even. You need to protect that most important of commodities, which is your soul, and the peace of your soul. I spoke about peace yesterday. I've got perfect peace here at the moment. You can hear a pin drop. Wonderful. What a wonderful life. I'm so blessed. Especially when the sun shines like this. One of the things I'm going to be building, I was looking at building supplies today, is a dojo. I used to do a lot of martial arts, Japanese sword arts, with real blades, not those bamboo sticks where they tonk each other on the head with kendo. Couldn't see the point in that. And I've studied Japanese sword arts for many years. But the thing is, you need the overhead space. You couldn't do it here with these beams. So I'm going to build a sort of a dojo near the caravan. So I can go out there after my morning's meditation and start throwing a blade around. Got to be careful throwing a 1.5 pound razor blade about the place. But it does keep you fit. I'm not entirely sure I'll be able to do what I used to do. Some of it is quite, not acrobatic, but I mean it does require an immense amount of physical agility, which I don't think I've got anymore. I might be able to do some of the moves, in which case, if I can do it, I'll show you. But that was the other thing I looked at today, building me dojo. It'll be open air, of course, and will give me plenty of room to swing a sword. But that's entirely by the by. Really what I wanted to talk about was, as I say, stock proofing your soul today. So I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. Think about what I've said. It's most important. I hope you can't really see much here in my little Tudor kitchen. There's some lovely oak panelling behind the camera. I'll show you that another day. But I hope you're well. Have a great time this evening or this afternoon, whenever you wake up in America or where you see this. I'm going to go and... I had fish and chips earlier, so I won't have much to eat tonight. You'll have seen that on the video. But I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of the evening, I think. I shall take my drink down the steps, which I made myself, to the caravan, sit on the veranda, just watch the sun go down. God bless you all, and I'll see you on the next video.